actually raising money and funding ESN. That if not for the ESN that Simon Ekpa sent to Ozala, they will not be coming Ozala. If not for the ESN that Simon sent to Okigwe, there will not be peace in Okigwe. If not,
Simon paid people to go and protect
yes.
our land.
I just asked a simple question. People come to me, tell me, Chidi, stop attacking Simon Ekpa, because Simon Ekpa is the one who is actually raising money and funding ESN. That if not for the ESN that Simon Ekpa sent to Ozala, they will not be coming Ozala. If not for the ESN that Simon sent to Okigwe, there will not be peace in Okigwe. If not for the funding of ESN that was done and ESN that Simon and Autopilot was funding, they went to a Hamufu, that there will not be peace. Are they correct or are they not correct?
Now, they are correct. Let me tell you the truth, they are correct. But I'm telling you...
You are disappointed. You are disappointed.
Simon, Raphael, you know...
Simon paid people to go and protect
yes.
our land.
I just asked you a simple question. People who come to me and they tell me, Chidi, stop, because Simon Ekpa is the one who is actually raising money and funding ESN. That if not for the ESN that Simon Ekpa sent to Ozala, they will not be coming Ozala. If not, because Simon Ekpa is the one who is actually raising money and funding ESN. That if not for the ESN that Simon Ekpa sent to Ozala, they will not be coming Ozala. If Simon Ekpa is the one who is actually raising money and funding ESN, that if not for the ESN that Simon Ekpa sent to Ozala, they will not be coming Ozala. If not for the ESN that Simon sent to Okigwe, there will not be peace in Okigwe. If not for the funding of ESN that was done and ESN that Simon and Autopilot was funding, they went one who is actually raising money and funding ESN. That if not for the ESN that Simon Ozala, they will not be Ozala. If not for the ESN that Simon sent to Okigwe, there will not be peace in Okigwe. If not for the funding of ESN that was done and ESN that Simon and Autopilot is the one who is actually raising money and funding ESN. That if not for the ESN that Simon Ekpa sent to Ozala, they will not be coming Ozala. If not for the ESN that Simon sent to Okigwe, there will not be peace in Okigwe. If not for the funding, one who is actually raising money and funding ESN, that if not for the ESN that Simon Ekpa sent to Ozala, they will not be coming Ozala. If not for the ESN that Simon sent to Okigwe, there will not be peace in Okigwe. If not for the funding of ESN that was done and ESN that Simon and Autopilot was funding, they went to a Hamufu, that there will not be peace. Are they correct or are they not correct?
Now, they are correct. Let me tell you the truth, they are correct. But I'm telling you...
You are disappointed. You are disappointed.
Simon, Raphael, you know...
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you, depending on the time zone. I salute you from here, and I bring peace to you for those that knows the importance of peace, and war and rage to those that knows only the disadvantage of peace. The Biafran liberation awareness must continue, and we are not going to stop 1 inch. And I salute you all from wherever you are. Ada Biafra, I salute you from Chicago, and welcome to the studio. How are you doing from your end?
Good morning, Biafrans. Good morning, Akbarawa Sonny Odogu. We are not doing well when our families are not doing well. You can't say you are doing well when your family back home. I was just talking to my brother now. It is not all right, but this year, hold on. I think I'm hold on, let me off this one. So we are going home. Everything will be fine. Viewers, join us. This year is our year. We must go home this year. We must celebrate together this year. Thank you for joining us. Please, immediately you join, like it to notify others, share it, comment. All things are your own part so that we go home. Some people, this our little evangelization and encouragement have made many people to be awake. We have awakened many spirits and souls. Some people have been blind. They don't know what is going on. But your little comment, your little like, your notification pop-up can even alert people that can help us. But remember, the fight is our fight. We have to start it. As the war is on your doorstep, don't be a coward. You have to do something before international community or Western world or any other foreign bodies can help you. Thank you.
Thank you, Obim. Umu Biafra, Umu Amazonians, and Umu and FULANIs. We are here for we are here for a message. So please, as you join the studio, do us the favor of hit that button and share. Share. Let the message go far and wide so that the notification will pop up for us. I have a very simple question. From the beginning of the broadcast, maybe you can rewind it and then start listening from the beginning, because I played some intriguing and educative jingles that will give you a clue of what this very broadcast will be all about. We are here to ask a very simple question, because some of the FOs running after politicians, and then the politicians that are running after, all of them are going to Chatham House, whether it's UK or whether it's in America, I don't want to know. As far as the Chatham House is not in your village, as far as the Chatham House is not in your marketplaces, Chatham House is not in your schools, as far as the Chatham House is not in your town hall, as far as the Chatham House is not in your church, as far as the Chatham House is not in your committees, not in your hospital bed, not even in IDP camps, the Chatham House has nothing to do with your present military conditions. As far as this has nothing to do with no power supply that you have in your communities, where the Chatham House does not know the pains and penuries that you go through and the brunt of what Nigeria upon your lives. There is everything wrong with the Chatham House. So all of you that are showing one Nigeria, because for Biafra we are asking a very simple and incisive. Why are your rulers and leaders to Chatham House instead of them to come to your villages and ask them and sit down to tell you their manifestos and to tell you how they are going to plan your killings in the next endorsement of the elections that you are going to vote them invariably into power again? Why are they not coming to your communities? Because we have educated many people for years now. And then a group, followers and listeners and students learned from him and then anticipated everything that he said, even when he has been inside the nation. And we are still doing it and going forward, because we are not going to stop until Biafra is restored. It doesn't matter how many people they kill, it doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies that they carry out in Biafra land every day. If you kill us today, you will not win the war, and you will not win the peace. You will only win the person that you kill, but you will not win the peace. The peace can never come back to you, because as far as the children of Biafra still lives on, we will still come back to hunt you down. It's a very important question for you people to ponder on and to ask your leaders. Ask your obedient, ask your Atiku, ask your Kwankwaso, ask your Jakaban, ask all the lifeless dogs that are about to lead you in your next generation, because they are not going to lead me. For me, I am for Biafra. Why are they all going to Chatham House? Is Chatham House where they are going, or they are going to rule you that are in your own communities? What is important about the house in UK? All of them have to go there, and UK, how they are. Someone said the voice is cracking. Okay, let me refresh, please. Thank you for your observation while we refresh.
And all of you will suffer if you don't repent. You will suffer. Mark my words somewhere, you will suffer if you don't repent from your evil ways. You take money from murderers and from killers to suppress the truth. Biden doesn't know what is happening in Nigeria because they rely on the ambassador to feed them accurate information. And that is not happening because they've been bribed. And that is why people are dying in Nigeria. Nigeria is the only place in turmoil, not making it onto the front pages of newspapers all over the world. Nobody talks about it. because they are all compromised. They've been bribed. We don't need your one Nigeria to survive. They tried, can you imagine the nonsense? They brought in their food blockade. They said we will not send food to the south. They are perishable goods. So the items got spoiled in the north. The government now turned around to pay them almost 500 billion.
Okay. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I hope our voices have been restored and no more cracking. Please give us a thumbs up on the comment section so that we know if we still have the cracky voice. All right. They said you have to go to Chatham House. While your communities, none of the aspirants have come to your communities to ask you or to tell you what they are going to do and what you need to do so that your life will be better. But they are going to Chatham House. There is something about the Chatham House which you need to know. The Chatham House that they are going to is for them to go and sign the hegemonic tendency, to go and endorse that paper that they have, which has been there for years. That is why the Biafran people are fighting to break off these shackles of slavery. But your leaders every day are making sure that the perpetual bondage that you have come to live and see continue to exist in years to come. Have you sat back and then asked yourself, why must your rulers and leaders go to Chatham House to go and give a press conference or a press briefing in Chatham House to tell Chatham House how they are going to come and rule you in your own country? Whereas Chatham House has nothing to do with your country. Chatham House is not in your country. Chatham House is in UK. So are you going to go and tell the people of UK how you are going to rule the people that are in Nigeria? Of what use and of what importance is it? Why don't you rather be seen in your communities and in your villages, in your schools, where you have children going to school seated on the bare floor studying, where you have students out of school and they are not able to do anything, where you have young school leavers graduate everywhere, scattered all over the market. Some are doing truck pushing, some are selling provisions in the market, some of them are even doing collect and pay. Some of them are driving Okada. Some of them are riding Okada. Some of them are doing keke napep. Some of them are even cleaning the floor and the road. Some of them are doing cleaners. People that have master's degrees, people that have PhD, people that have ND, people that have BSc, people that have NCE, people that have university degrees that they have finished schools. They are the people doing all these menial jobs. Why? Because the country has become so useless. These are the things that your rulers that are going to Chatham House should come to your schools and your communities, your churches, and then sit you down and then have a conversation with you to ask you, how can they better your life? But they are not coming to do so. They are going to Chatham House in UK. Why are they going to Chatham House in UK? Oh, they are going to give their manifesto in Chatham House of how they will be ruling UK citizens, or how they will be contributing to the economy of UK. Now, which day or which year or which generation or which century or in which month or which time have you ever had that the UK Prime Minister or the UK MPs or the UK senators or the UK ministers or the UK governors and mayors in their constituencies that they are coming to Aso Rock to come and give a press briefing of how they are going to rule the people in their constituencies in UK? People are to rule people in UK, then they will now come to Aso Rock, come to Akwa Ibom, come to Abia State, come to Enugu to come and be telling Enugu people of how they are going to rule their people in UK constituents. I'm asking a very simple question now. because this is common sense. This is common sense. I want, I want us to reason. This is common sense. I just want us to reason. Because when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had been preaching since 2012, not only him, Ojukwu was there. After Ojukwu, Wazirike came. After Wazirike, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is here, and all of us are here now. And we have been hearing of how democracy is being practiced, how the aspirants go into town hall meetings to discuss with their citizens of how they are going to rule them and what they are going to offer and how they will better their lives. I have never heard that you are going to rule people in Akwa Ibom. Then you now go to Kafanchan to go and sit down and tell the people in Kafanchan of how they are going to rule people in Akwa Ibom. Of what use is it? Why are you going to tell the people in Kafanchan? Except that you are going to rule the people in Kafanchan. So you will sit down there and then give them a clue or a write-up of what you're going to do for them and how they can cooperate with you to move Kafanchan forward. But when you are going to rule people in Akwa Ibom, then you are not going to go and tell the people of Kafanchan of how you're going to rule the people in Akwa Ibom. Of what use or what sense does it make? Because even after how many years, our people are still deaf and dumb and daft. Obi, please take the mic. Let me attend to something.
That is Nigeria. Hello, Biafrans. You have to be a critical thinker before you understand what we are asking you. Before you are asking you, we are telling you that we be no vote in Biafra land. Number one. Number one is they must free our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Number two, no vote, no electoral activities in Biafra land. Number three, Biafra is coming. If you are watching us, please write a prayer for our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for his health conditions. They are not telling us anything now about his health condition. Now, let me come to the topic. You cannot be pregnant for Okeke and go to Okonkwo and give him the child. It will fall back. That is why DNA test is available now, because it is not the right thing. You cannot be campaigning for going to Chatham House while the people you are to be ruled or to be their leader are in Olu, for example. It doesn't work that way. Go and tell them, the people that you want to be their leader, what you are going to bring to the table. Go to their doorstep. If Ihamufu has been burning and you did not talk about Ihamufu, for example, you don't want to tell the world that Ihamufu, they are killing Ihamufu people. Tomorrow, where will you go and do your campaign? You see, they don't have your interest at heart. That's why they've been running up and down, from here to there. That is why we are telling you that you don't have any leader except Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even the religious leader, we don't have them. They are joined together. Going to Chatham House did not start today. The people that enslaved you, forcefully amalgamated you, forced you together. People of different cultures, different religion, different mentality, different food, different tradition, merged together forcibly by this same British, by this Teresa group of PLC. That is why they all ran to Chatham House. All of them. Even the one, the Emilokan, Atifuluta, Obidiot, all of them. Obi was in how many parties before he went to that Elisa group? They told him to go to Labour Party. How many of you know what is Labour Party before now? Biafrans, I am not here to tell you what you are supposed to do again now. The ball is in your court. For them not to condemn what is going on in your locality, they can't come and tell you what they want to bring. If they cannot come and tell you that they killed 2 people in Ojota, unarmed Nigerians protesting because of their Yoruba nation, freedom fighting, that want to go home without no arms, and none of the governors in that zoo have condemned it, how will they now go and campaign in that area? Because they've gone to Chatham House to tell them what they want over there, what they need over there. From there, they will forcibly come and be ruling. That is why you should say no to anybody. Anybody. Whether you go Chatham House or whether you go Abuja, there will be no election in Nigeria. I thank God your Duduwas are waking up. You know, if it were to be only Biafrans, only Biafra, they say, oh, now this Igbo people, and this Nyamere people. Now the Yorubas, everybody, even the Ambazonians, they are on the game. Nobody is taking it lightly with all these politicians. You have voted for 1952. What did that do in your life? Does that give you security as a human being, life to live? You don't have the right to live. You don't even have it. You're sleeping with one eye. They are in Chatham House discussing how to come and kill you more. That is why you should not allow it. That is why you should not allow it. Biafrans, wake up. Wake up now and know that the freedom is in your hands. Somebody yesterday was telling me you are, because you are a foreign fighter. That's why I'm telling you this. She cannot condemn the Chatham House goers. He cannot condemn what the governor in her state is doing. He cannot condemn the killings of Ehamufu. That is the kind of people we have. Biafrans, wake up. Wake up and collect your freedom. Chatham House is not your village where they're supposed to come and know what you need. You don't have electricity. Okay, we will give you electricity. That is when you know that campaign is going on. Oh, you don't have pipe-borne water. Oh, we will give you. Oh, I think you need a free education in this zone because you don't have anything. Okay, we will bring it when we enter. That is how election campaigns are supposed to go around, not being in a Chatham House or in Abuja. After, they will come and be your governor by force because you allowed it. Don't validate the killers of your people. Don't talk about any election. Don't validate these people killing that killed your ancestors, killed your mother and your father and your brothers and sisters. Please. The Yorubas, please wake up, and if you know what you are doing before, don't let this killing of your freedom fighter to demoralize you. Increase it. Increase it. Increase it. Biafrans, if you know what you have been doing before, the like, the subscription, the comment, increase it. Anywhere you see a freedom fighter doing something, even if the person tell you or not to subscribe, please go and subscribe. You are encouraging that person. This is the time we need more people to be doing something. Do you know that another person joining what me and Sonny is doing today might join us in the tomorrow fundraising and bring people that will buy granite for our boys? Chatham House is not your house. They're supposed to do that in your neighbors. Know what you need. Tell you what they will bring to the table. But they don't have anything to bring to the table. That's why we are telling you, don't validate the killers of your people. Yes, Chatham House is the same as slaughterhouse. That is where they go and discuss how they will slaughter everybody, how they will continue killing you, Islamizing you, taking over your land. That is why you must not validate these people. The slaughterhouse must fall. That zoo must fall. What will you tell your ancestors today that they died by these people, the jihadis, by their slaughterhouse, Chatham House, by a lizard group of company, and you wake up, you grow up as an adult, you are over 15, you saw what is going on, you cannot open your mouth. If they say go home today, what will you tell your ancestors? They will they will flog the hell out of you, push you. If there's anything worse than hellfire, as they told you, they will push you inside, that you didn't fight revenge for their death. You didn't fight to make sure that the land they left for you, you allow the FULANI to. Thank you, Sonny. Welcome back.
Thank you, Obim. I want Biafrans to give their reactions. That's why I said we did not come here for a long broadcast. We came here for a message. So we want you to come into the studio and then give your views. The question is, we are telling you no elections in Biafra land, and some mumu people where they don't take their brain boss go do sacrifice for shrine, where Fulani don't use their brain boss do sacrifice, that in the next 100 years, they will not know their left from the right. They are still going after the politicians that will validate their communities and their brothers and sisters that will be kidnapped, raped, and slaughtered and massacred in their broad daylight. And they are still going after them. You don't even stop there. The worst thing will happen now, we say, most of you that are even shouting obedience and shouting Kwankwaso, Tinubu, Atiku, you have never for once seen Tinubu or Atiku or Peter Obi face to face to even know who they are and what they look like. You have not even conversed with them. Now, they cannot come to your sick bed to talk to you, to know where Fulani invaded your communities, how they slaughter people, how many people they slaughtered, how they can even give you hope. They are not coming to your villages to know the conditions of lives and security that you are living. They are not coming to your villages to know whether you have water to drink, whether there is electricity. They are not coming to your villages to know whether you have good roads. They are not coming to your villages to know whether the oil spill that has ravaged your communities from the oil exploration that they have done, which is the oil that is funding UK, US, Europe, and many other African countries. They have not come to even checkmate that. Neither have they even put in measures that will curtail the menace that has destroyed your communities out of the oil spills that has taken over everywhere. They are feeding on your flesh. And now, all of you are dying and sacrificing everything that you have and shouting obedience, shouting Atiku, shouting Chakaban, shouting Kwankwaso, and shouting Showore, shouting all what not. And they are not even coming to come and sit down with you to talk in your village town hall or in your communities, or to even come and see the place where they say Fulani terrorists invaded and attack and kill people. No, they're not coming there to know anything that happens to you. What they are doing is that they are going to UK Chatham House to go and sit down and then discuss how they are going to rule you in Nigeria for the UK people. Now, of what interest, of what importance is it that You are to rule people in faraway Sahel in one Nigeria. Yet you are going to UK to go and tell the UK people how you are going to rule the people in Nigeria. This is what I want you people to reason. Come back to your senses and ask yourself the questions. Because when we say that Nigeria has finished and that Nigeria is in one chance and that we don't need to validate the existence of Nigeria for it to go forward anymore, because it only brings pains and penuries and massacre, genocide upon our people, raping, maiming, destruction of lives and properties. Some people don't understand and they see us to be crazy. We are happy that we are classified to be the unrecognized and the crazy people talking in this age. But you know what? Our craziness and our unrecognized nature and our talking and our madness has been able to open the eyes and minds of many people. Because people that did not know their linkages and their history have come to terms and understanding that Nigeria is not workable. So I bring the question to you again, and I ask you again in a different way. Why are your leaders, why are your rulers, why are your presidential aspirants and your governors going to Chatham House to go and sit down to discuss how they are going to come back and rule you in Nigeria? Can't they come to your villages, assemble you, sit you down, and then have a town hall meeting and then discuss with you how they are going to rule you? Why are they going to go and discuss how they are going to rule you to the UK people? What did the UK people go do for your community and for your country? Now the UK people, now them go rule you? Or now the UK people, now they won't go rule? Now the UK people, now them go vote them into power? The PVC that will be casted for them, now the UK people go cast the PVC? Is it UK people that will carry out the election? Is it the UK people that are the INEC, International or National Electoral Commission? Is it the UK people that will supervise your election? Are they the ones that will elect you into power? Are they the ones that will decide if your community will be developed or not? Are they the ones that will decide whether terrorists will be fought with a carrot and stick approach or whether it will be fought in a simplified manner? Are they the ones that will decide whether you should live and whether you should not live? Are they the ones that will decide whether there should be development in your communities or not? It's a very simple question. And when you connect the dots, you can pinpoint everything that we are saying here to understand that the UK enslavement that started long time ago is still being emancipated in your communities. That is why we say you must dissolve and end Nigeria so that all of you can be free. You cannot in your right senses be telling me that your MPs, your ministers, your senators, your governors, your presidents are going to go and tell the UK people how they are going to come and rule you back in Nigeria. Whereas the UK MPs and prime ministers and presidents and senators and mayors are not coming to Akwa Ibom, are not coming to Abia State, are not coming to Enugu, are not coming to Abuja, are not coming to Umutanse, are not coming to Iyala, are not coming to Olu, are not coming to Okigwe, they are not coming to Ikwacha, they are not coming to Oron, they are not coming to Ikodekpene, they are not coming to Emene, they are not coming to Kafanchan to come and sit down and tell you how they are going to rule people in UK. No, they do it in UK because they want to rule the people in UK. But your own governors and leaders and presidents and senators and all the epileptic mental morons are going to UK to go and tell UK people how they can help to continue the annihilation and the destruction of lives and properties of your people in your communities. It's a very simple question and a very simple mathematics for people to solve and give us the answer in a very simplified manner. Because when you have this common sense and then think, you will understand why we are saying do not validate anything that has to do with one Nigeria. Because if these people were not there to go and make sure the hegemonic tendency continues in the hands of the British and all the colonies, you would have seen something different. If after 100 years of amalgamation, which was forcefully done against your own will, without the consolidation and without the agreement of your leaders and your village heads, you were forcefully brought together. And after then, this thing has expired. Yet, we are making a forceful breakaway. And yet, your rulers and leaders are forcing you again to remain inside that contraption at the expense of your own lives. We are asking a very simple question. Why are they going to Chatham House to go and sit down to discuss how they are going to kill you, instead of doing the discussion in your backyard, doing the discussion in your town hall meetings, in your villages, doing the discussion in your schools, doing the discussion in your marketplaces, doing the discussions in your churches? Why is it that when they want to come and do the campaign, they come to your churches, give money to the pastors and bishops, they cajole your brains into believing that one Nigeria is still safe and sound, that you should continue to pray for one Nigeria? The same religious leaders that cannot even see their backside from their prophecies that they preached since 1934. Because if they had seen, they would have been able to tell us that this contraption is a doom to everyone, and every congregational member should stand up and then face the needful to see how they can destroy the terrorists. If a Theophilus Danjuma can tell you that these people are all working with the terrorists, wake up and then face the needful. If not so, all of you will all die. But your religious leaders are not able to tell you same. None of these people that are running to UK Chatham House to go and tell them what they are going to do for you can come to your villages and meet your grandmother. Now, do you know that in the UK that they are running to, that there is good healthcare system for old people? Do you know that there are grants given to students when they finish school? If you don't want to work, then you want the money to use it to establish business for yourself? Do you know that there are money that are paid to aged people that they can be taking care of themselves? Do you know that when you finish school and then you don't have a job in time, there is a way the government can supplement you for the time being? Not only in UK, this happens in all Western world that knows the importance of their citizens. Why are they going to UK Chatham House to go and discuss how your life will be derailed, instead of sitting down with you, who is claiming to be one Nigerianist, to discuss and to tell you what should better your life, and for you yourself to also give them your own opinions? Why? Mazi, His Academic Highness, oh, we are so happy to have you in the studio. Welcome, Mazi. Shatter the table in your own way. But please, I beg you in Chukwokika's name, limit your limit your diction so that people can understand you. Don't go with your diction on a high scale. Limit it to a layman's own so that they can be able to pick your point.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Very well.
Good afternoon to all our brothers and sisters, to the audience, especially to Biafran people. Before I start, I want Biafrans to start from this moment, giving thanks to God Almighty for this contemporary Biafra struggle. Because this Biafra struggle is not only going to liberate Biafran people, it will liberate Africans, from the shackles of Western dominations of all kinds. When I say Western domination, it has to do with Arabs and also the Europeans and also the Sete Sorella. That is what we call it. That is those who has been there, who see us as animals, who see us as people to be used for, their own selfish interests. This Biafran struggle is opening lots of can of worms that has been hidden. You know why I was somehow laughing when our big brother, Mr. Parawa, has been mentioning Chatham House. Is because that is one of the things, that made our people to be behaving in certain way. In this Biafran struggle, people say, where are the elites? Where are the elites? There is no participation of the elites. Who is saying where are the elites? It's not saying that there are lots of elites in Biafran struggle. Why they're saying, where is that? Where are the elites? It's the elites of their own typology. In the sense that, let me say it in Igbo language, elites, confused set of people. That is in the sense that they say, when they say, where are the elites? What they mean to say is, you start viewing people like Reverend Fathers, Cardinal Arinze, Reverend Sister, big mega, those pastors that have mega churches, then people who have PhDs like the Ngozi Okonjos and the Wallace, like the professors who behave like them, not knowing that there is a kind of trick that the white people played on, on Africans. You have 5 continents. If you watch those continents, you see that it is only Africa that is always at the receiving end of it. If you give me time, I will try to explain something. The reason why our people go to Chatham House and, trying to believe that Chatham House is the way. That is, there is a kind of, a kind of virus that the colonial masters injected into us. Only those who have grown to the height of understanding that Africa is human being created in the same way he created the white, that will understand this virus. The virus is being injected directly to people who are religious leaders, people who are politicians, people who are PhD holders, people who are professors, who were being, made to believe that, look, it is you that have attention. It is you that have PhD now. You are very, very special. You are very, very special. There is a kind of protocol that they give to these, our leaders. And at the same time, they let them to understand that they are big boys. They are special. They are different from the other people. They are people that are so special that when they are talking, all others that didn't have the same qualification are nothing. This thing I'm saying is, if you watch very, very closely, you see that the categories of people that I nominated, that I named now, like the Reverend Fathers, Cardinals, Bishops, Pastors, politicians, professors, not all of them, but the category of people I'm talking about. If you watch their character, you see that they always raise shoulder, At the same time, it is Africans I'm talking about now. Look at their counterparts, their colleagues in the Western world. You see that they are very, very humble. Now, the colonial masters made it in that way, in such a way that they will do their bid. Their bid is to do what? To be used. That is, they use this category of people so that their interests will be affirmed in Africa. They use this category of people so that they will help them to subjugate Africans. I want to release the secret of what happened around 1970s. Not only in Nigeria, that is around the world. You call it the era of restoration. During this 1970, in Italy, the labor union was formed. Before the labor union was formed, there was restructuring of industry. There was restructuring of industry. And this restructuring gave birth to what you call OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries. Now, during this time, the OPEC of Africa organized itself and hiked the fuel price. What did Great Britain did? It made meeting and say, okay, now they have hiked the price. The OPEC countries now, they have hiked the price, but we will use appeasement to collect the money back, according to the secret we saw in the university, because this is the time to release it. Somebody, one priest, to say, why is it that people like us always like, releasing secret openly instead of creating a channel? Now, before you know the secret, you pay. I told him there is something white men told us, not you, but his Reverend Father. The difference between each other and one another. Each other and one another. Now, we are at this fight. We have to, we that believe that we have got lots of information, have to release it free of charge so that our people will come out of suppression. So, when our people hiked the petroleum price through their meeting for the first time, Gaddafi played a very important role also. Now, they said they will use appeasement the other way around to do what? To collect the money back. Now, what is the system that they use? The system that they use is that they started convincing, creating lots of protocols that made the leaders of Africa to be feeling pompous, to be feeling that they're so special. If, for example, somebody like Peter Obi is going to London now, as he's landing in London, you will see lots of protocols, not only Peter Obi, all those politicians. You see protocols. Welcome, sir. At times they even send some, some hired prostitutes in order to be doing the massage. They will use all those things. Now they will be feeling that they have arrived. They will say, do like this. They will say, yes, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. They used that they called it petrodollar. They used it. England, most especially, used the petrodollars from Africa. If you watch around 1970s, those that we are in charge in Africa, all of them started banking African money in the overseas, in the banks, in the Swiss banks where you have World Bank, in buying houses. That is the origin of all these politicians looting. Then they will go and buy a house in near number 10 Downing Street. They will be buying houses in different foreign countries because already protocol has been established that welcomes them. That is also the period that they introduced the language money laundering, as if money laundering is not criminal activity. They called it, they aid the money laundering. They introduced also the offshore investment, just like Mr. Simon Ekpa used to envelope when he's speaking. They introduce all those mechanisms, which is also part of what you call in Islamic terminology as not Sharia, as takia. That is, they will allow you to be corrupted. They will open the way for you. They will allow you to believe that you're better than your citizens. They don't teach you the meaning of citizens. By the time they want, they will remove that particular thing for you so that you'll be helpless. That is, the Islamists use the same style. They allow you to be corrupted. They close one eye, they allow you to be corrupted. By the time you happen to understand that, look, these people are doing the wrong thing, you will be handicapped. You will have no power to challenge them because they have everything in their palms. So, why is it that our people go to Chatham House to do political campaign? Chatham House is not in Nigeria. It's not in Abakaliki. It's not in Akwa Ibom. It is in another continent. And at the same time, the stupidity did not allow them to question themselves on the reason why they must go to Chatham House and be talking to Nigerians. What does it mean? Have you ever seen Italians or Germans coming to Nigeria prior to presidential election or any election to ask for the support of Nigeria or Nigerians or to make political campaign or debate in Nigeria? No. But why is it that Africans always like, bowing down to foreign powers? Because the spirit of assimilation has been implanted in them. That is the same reason why black man will do Reverend Father from the beginning to the end. He will end up in cardinal. He can never be pope because we have left our own and we are not ready to ameliorate what God has given to us. We take everything verbatim as the colonial masters just taught us without digging deep to understand the way they do it. The same thing with pastors, with politicians. Why is it that the same question that you ask now, why is it that they go to Chatham House? They go there because they are slaves. And at the same time, they are feeling that when you are with white man, you are big boy. They introduce the spirit of big boy to politicians. But in politics, there is nothing like big boy, because politics is not chieftaincy title, it's not tradition. It's a revolutionary force that intervened to save the people from misrule, from oligarchy, from gerontocracy, from state plutocracy, from all forms of misrule, from what you call absolutism. I can remember a king that was called King Louis XIV, 1700s before the French Revolution, that said that the state of France belongs to him. Watch Buhari, watch African leaders. Now the colonial masters injected that belief into them so that they will be suppressing their people. Why they are suppressing their people? They give them every privilege. They will be sucking mineral resources, and at the same time, they want this doctrine. There is a doctrine they say keep them down. Them means we Africans against what you call civility rivalry. That is, they don't want our children in future to compete with their own children. And these Nicompums called the political leaders don't know this, and they're not even ready to ask questions on why things are going in this way. They continue doing it like that. Just watch the category that I'm saying now. You see that exactly that is what they do. Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Prof, please, next time when you are talking, I prefer you fix that microphone in one place because your voice was going off the pitch and people were not picking everything well. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me in the studio. And with this opportunity, I wanted to touch on something else. And I'm going to put it on the screen. There's something on the screen. You see Obediot. You see Obediot and Obi Magod and Obi Nonsense with a Fulani raincoat attire that has been sold for him. Then you on the other side, you see Obediot say, I am not a Nigerian. Biafra ended in 52 years ago. I'm not part of self-determination. Please, in your own way, how will you address obedience? Because if more than 5 million people of the Biafran Estrad were massacred and cut to pieces, and yet Obediot, after how many years, and also in this very dispensation of time, where Fulanis are ravaging and invading every communities and pillaging, raping, destroying everything that is breathing. Then Obediot is opening his mouth to say he is in self-denial of what is actually going on because of the fact that they want to remain a slave to the Fulanis. And today, he is amongst the people that are going to the Chatham House, which we just talked about now. So please, in your own way, address this non-entity here. The woman.
Yeah. Good. There was a comment I made. There was a post made by the Biafran spokesperson. I think it is coming clear now. Is it coming clear?
Yeah, very well.
Yeah. I'm trying to search the comment because I addressed that quite earlier. The Biafran spokesperson, Mazi Simon Ekpa, said that Obi is a core Biafran, is a part of IPOB, complete hardcore. Okay, I think I am getting it. He said, look at it here. I've addressed it already. But I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read what I wrote. But before I read what I wrote, the response I gave to somebody, the Biafran spokesperson wrote that Peter Obi is a part of IPOB, both physically, spiritually, otherwise. He lied. So he was commenting on this particular, subject matter that you asked now. And somebody, said, tried to comment under that box and said that Mazi Simon Ekpa showed a sign of displeasure that Mazi Simon Ekpa should face his Finland and leave them alone. Who commented that, it's in the zoo. Then, because this is Okay. Because I find it difficult reading while looking at the smaller screen. Then I responded in this way. Why is it that each time our people happens to apprehend a fellow citizen who happen to be accused of having stolen a token in for example in Chanjame market, they set such a person ablaze instantly. But if they happen to catch a stranger terrorist of Fulani origin committing similar or even a worst of it, they don't even attempt, beating the person, talk more of lynching the person. What is that? Self-hatred. Self-hatred. Okay. Then I went further to say that, so what is wrong with P2B being said to be a hardcore Biafran? It's a hardcore Biafran because Igbo is Biafran and Biafra is Igbo. And the entire family, why they say Biafra is to unify the entire family. So I said, wasn't it Chief Odumegu Ojukwu? Wasn't Chief Odumegu Ojukwu the P2B's political boss who told him to use his party, APGA, to unify the Southeast, which means Ndigo, before his demise, of which he, P2B, later abandoned and went ahead denying his Igbo-ness. That was my response to that. And that person did not write anything again. So, my brothers and sisters, this virus that we have been talking about, if it is not removed from each and every one of us, that is, ndị be anyị amali ife, but na ha maro than family ife. There's an episode that says that he who know not that he know not is a compound fool. It's a compound fool. Now, another response to that is watch the interview being granted to Sheikh Gumi. Sheikh Gumi, for everybody knows that he's the leader of, he's the leader and the spokesperson to Bandit. Bandit is a baptismal name that he gave to the Boko Haram because they are on agenda in order to confuse the world, because Americans in particular, when they say bandit, it will be sounding as if it is teenagers doing something. He is today going freely speaking, granting interview through conventional medias of Nigeria. But now that the kind that is doing self-determination is in. And his brothers, that suppose, who say that they are supposedly educated. This is Sheikh Gumi. Oh my God, this is Sheikh Gumi. He's granting an interview. They are granting him interview. They grant him interview every now and then. He's going free. He's saying that they fight. In fact, that Boko Haram and bandits are their warriors. That they should be paid by dollars, not by naira. Even when the governor of the central bank was saying that everybody should, concede, should deliver, should submit their old money so that they will change it to the new one. Even that one came out and solicited for the criminal bandits, kidnappers, and killers as men. But P2B is saying that he has PhD and his cohorts, but he is denying his Igbo-ness. So it is because of the virus. Our people, let me tell you another thing. All these people that have reverend fathers and reverend sisters in their families that are protagonists, their own foolishness is more than mountain, is it River Mississippi or Mountain Hogan? There is a mountain in Hogan. There is another one called Mountain Horeb. Where is it where they push?
They even pass Mountain Everest. He passed Mountain Everest.
Okay, Mountain Everest. Okay. So the illiteracy, there is something called educated person and educated illiterate. This education we are talking about is a mamifeo. It does not mean paper qualification. That is, this Ojukwu said, Nkea This is our own. Nnamdi Kanu is our own. Sheikh Gumi is telling you that the terrorists are their own, and he's soliciting. Nobody is stopping him. You yourself, Peter Obi, because you're following Reverend Fathers, you're following colonial masters. They use the Igbo people. That is what I'm saying. What do you call them? The British people. They used us, but by the time our people did not understand that why people used us, whether you're educated or not, then you cannot understand where the vector is going. Sheikh Gumi is there soliciting for bandits. Then the military, the government is there converting Boko Harams, calling them repentant and unleashing them into the military and the security in total. But this one who said he went to school is only quoting GDP without database in Nigeria. And he's talking as if the problem you have in Nigeria is GDP. The thing concerning Boko Haram, nobody wants to, just like the pastors, nobody goes to, you say you have power, you have miraculous power, you are a reverend father, you are a native doctor, you have power, but you cannot use that power against the people that are slaughtering your people. The only people who use their power is the IPOB. So they are fools, but they don't know. Okay, our people are waiting for, they say they're waiting for elites. The elites that they mean are the politicians who don't even understand their left from their right. For example, somebody like Soludo, he went to university, but what did Adam Smith say? Adam Smith said that the process of mutation is alternative procurement. Before you change, you remove Okada man, you ban Okada. You should provide industry where Okadas will be working, because Okada is a citizen and is a human being. He has a family. He has people that are under him. You ban Okada. Then you went and banned Agboro. Agboro, however, is a way of collecting tax in a local way. So they feed from that place. It is him, the terrorist. They say they went to school, but they don't read Adam Smith formula. They don't learn from white people who says citizen first. You humble yourself. Who went to school should not be raising shoulder. You should study it very well. They are educated illiterate. You don't need to go to Chatham House to be talking about what happened to Nigeria. You don't have to deny your origin. They have already concluded the election. I didn't mean that, in fact, who is talking about election 2023? In Nigeria, who is going there is Atiku Abubakar. I gave this analysis last year because it was him that won the other time. But because Obi was his running mate, they made beating. Our people, they don't understand politics. Politics is not going to heaven or going to hellfire. It has formula and principle. Here in Italy, they were worried that because there is something, if a particular political party merge or happens to put its members, I'm saying political party, I didn't say tribe, put its member in all the strategic position in the country, like army, head of police, head of this, you know what I'm saying? A particular party happened to head of House of Assembly, House of, House of Senate, House of Rep, presidency, everything is being monopolized by one political party. The reason why they created ruling party and opposition is so that the people, that there would be no tyranny. He said that by the time you see that particular thing, that is one political party, happen to, have the control of all the strategic position, including the CGN, everything, that particular political party is capable of changing the constitution. That is what you call Republic 1, Republic 2, Republic 3, under normalcy. Now, under tribe, Fulani has done everything. If they have, as we know that they have the agenda, at the long run, as this Jubril is going to leave, something will happen. Military will take over and they will perfect the Islamization. Obi, what does he understand in politics? Is he not the one that they ask about education the other day? Then he said, this one don't big pass me. How can you be coming out as a presidential candidate and you don't know them all? You should know everything. But you are pushing yourself. It's not going anywhere. It is the English people, the British people that want to use him to lure Igbo people or the Biafran people into validating the 2023 election, because they themselves are interested in the mineral resources and also for the doctrine of keeping them down. So it is only those that didn't know this particular lacuna that will be worrying about elites. Elites are here. You have 90, you have octogenarians, you have nonagenarians, and decagenarians. In Biafran struggle, you have educated people, not cut and join. You have people with brain. It's a question of coming that you will see them, but they are very humble. That is what is there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Mazi Joseph Ifeanyi, welcome to the studio. In what way do you have to contribute to the topic of the day? You have the mic, please. We can't hear you. Unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Maybe as you are coming back in, don't use your Bluetooth device. Just come in without your Bluetooth device, and we could likely hear you because the device might interwove with the connection at times.
And all of you will suffer if you don't repent. You will suffer. Mark my words somewhere, you will suffer if you don't repent from your evil ways. You take money from murderers and from killers to suppress the truth. Biden doesn't know what is happening in Nigeria because they rely on the ambassador to feed them accurate information. And that is not happening because they've been bribed. And that is why people are dying in Nigeria. Nigeria is the only place in turmoil, not making it onto the front pages of newspapers all over the world. Nobody talks about it because they are all compromised. They've been bribed. We don't need your one Nigeria to survive. They try, can you imagine the nonsense? They brought in their food blockade. They said we will not send food to the south. They are perishable goods. So the items got spoiled in the north. The government now turned around to pay them almost 500 billion. You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Master Joseph, if I try to say something, let's see if your connection is restored. No, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. If you are using a Bluetooth device on your ear, please detach it and speak without the Bluetooth device. Disconnect it from the device. Disconnect it from your phone. Disconnect the Bluetooth device from your phone and then use it without the Bluetooth device. Disconnect the Bluetooth device, then go out and then come in again with the link. Don't connect your Bluetooth device to your phone. From there, maybe it will pick up. Then as you come in, enable your camera, enable your microphone so that it can be audible for you to come on. We can't hear you. Go out and come in again, please. So there is a message I want Biafrans to understand here. When Peter Obi said he is not a Biafran, that he is a Nigerian, and that Biafra ended 52 years ago, that shows the self-denial that Peter Obi lives in. That shows how far money and compromise can make many of you to turn against your freedom because of the quest for money, because of the quest for fame and power, because of the quest for name, because you want to be the man that is talked about by everyone, Because you have decided to use yourself as the slave to the masters, you can gladly come out and sell out your own. Now, it is not Obi that brought us to the limelight. We are the one that brought Obi to the limelight. So Obi can in no way come out tomorrow to brag and then start telling you, oh, Biafra ended 2 years ago, I am not in support of Biafra or this or that. There's one thing you should understand about Obi, that Obi is Biafra flesh and blood. And even with this Fulani uniform that they have given him, it does not change anything on him in any way. But it is the only way that will make the Fulanis to have access to kill you more. Because when they do the induction on him, they now leave him to come back to give some of you that are still following him the confidence that you can go and rest your oars on Obi. No, don't make such mistakes. Another thing you should understand from this write-up of Obi is that Obi does not recognize or does not owe anything against the people that massacre you every day. The people that headed your massacre in the 60s to the 70s and the ones that have been doing since that time to this very day, Obi does not see that to be anything. Obi does not feel your pain. Obi does not feel the genocide that is ongoing in Biafra land and in the entire world, Nigeria. That is what Obi is making you to understand. Obi makes it comfortable for himself to go on with what he's doing. Yeah. Mercy Joseph, try to speak now if you can say something.
Okay, I think it's from your device. We are not hearing you. We are not hearing you. So okay, I think it's from your device. You have to go out and come back in, refresh when coming in.
Maybe try to restart your phone totally. Restart your phone totally before you come in again. As I was saying before he came in, Obi is happy with the massacre that is ongoing in Biafra land. Obi is happy with the genocide that has been happening since 60s to this very day. That is the implication of Obi saying what he said here, that he is a Nigerian. So he saw nothing about the massacre of Biafrans. He sees nothing about the genocide ongoing in Okigwe. He sees nothing about the genocide ongoing in Olu. He sees nothing about the genocide ongoing in Umutanzi. He sees nothing about the genocide ongoing in Iyala. He sees nothing about the genocide ongoing in Yamufu. He sees nothing about the genocide ongoing in entire Biafra land. He sees nothing about the genocide ongoing in all the IDP camps in southern Kaduna. In Borno, about 5 local governments are under the control of the terrorists, headed by the Fulani Caliphate, which Obi is wearing on his chest. And he is very proud to identify himself with the Fulani terrorists. But he is very, very happy to deny his Biafra heritage. Outrightly, to tell the entire world, I am not a Biafran, I am a Nigerian. So I support the Fulani hegemonic tendency. I support the Fulanization agenda. And he went as far as collecting the uniform to wear, to tell you that I am coming out publicly. He is not concerned about whether you have a life to live or not. He is not, after all, he is part and parcel of MNK's ordeal. The reason why MNK was kidnapped, all these leaders and rulers that you have in the East, they all collaborated to make it a success. So how do you now expect that someone that partook in the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and knows the situation that we have at hand will now come to support you again? Have all of you sat back to ask, did Obi come and meet all of you in your communities or your villages to tell you that he's going for presidency before he emerged as a presidential candidate? No. It was still in the UK Parliament House that they called Obi and then told Obi, go and become PDP. Go to the opposition party of Labour Party and wear the clothes. Come out from there. Now, how do you now expect that this same person now will always be coming out to speak to your favor? But there is one thing we want you people to understand. That even as he has denied his own people and that he is wearing the FULANI uniform and partnering and dining with them, they will still throw him out tomorrow. Because you cannot save the zoo and come back in joy. You must always come back in shame. How many of you have seen that of Rocha Sokorocha? How many of you had seen that of Ojus Okalu? How many of you had seen that of Willy Willy? How many of you had seen that of Godswill Akpabio? How many of you have not seen everything that has been happening? And what do you expect to be different? And why will obedience be exceptional? Obedience can never be exceptional. Master Joseph, please try to speak. Let's see if your device is restored. Joseph, please say something. Let's see if you're back.
We are not hearing you, Joseph. I don't know. Okay, Biafrans, before they come back, you, Joseph. Please make sure you hit the like button so that we notify other people. Prof is out to August on the continue. Okay,
but viewers, you have to pardon me because from my end here there is kind of noise. So I did work, so Muna, pardon me. But the message must be delivered because even while I am at work, Biafrans are being massacred. So I cannot say because of the noisy area, I will not say something. I have to keep the awareness going and to keep people abreast with what is going on. So obedience will also be shamed the same way that Willy Willy was shamed. It will also be shamed the same way that Amechi was shamed. It will also be shamed the same way that Wike was shamed. It will also be shamed the same way that Rocha Sokorocha was shamed. It will also be shamed the same way that Ojus Okalu was shamed. So all of them that have done the induction to the Fulani Caliphate, it is a waste of time. Our own message is that no election in Biafra land, and there is nothing you can do about it. So if you like, you go and hug the biggest transformer. When you get to the transformer, electrocute yourself very well. Make sure that the feeder pillar that is well electrocuted before you even put yourself inside so that you will die one time. And if that transformer is not good for you, look for the nearest lagoon, jump into it, and enjoy the water there for like the next 365 days because you will love it so much. So we would have loved to have Mazi Joseph give his contribution, but because of what the network has been doing with him, we can't help. So our message has been, why are your rulers and leaders going to Chatham House to go and discuss how to rule you back in Nigeria? Whereas Chatham House is located in UK, and you have never seen for once that the MPs, the mayors, the senators, the prime ministers, and the ministers and the secretaries of state and the government officials of UK or America or Italia or Brazil or Spain or Portugal or even Japan or South Korea or China, you have not seen them coming to Nigeria to come and give Nigeria a template of what they want to go and do in their country for their own people. It sounds so foolish. It sounds so awkward to hear that a day here, my papa, instead of him to call me and my siblings, make we sit down, discuss of how our family can develop and go front. Instead of him to call my mother and then talk to my mother and ask my mother, how are we going to put our heads together to nurture our children in school, for them to go through kindergarten, for them to enter nursery, for them to enter primary, for them to enter secondary, for them to go through higher institution, or for them to learn a trade, or after then, how we can establish them, give them money to set up a business of their own and to stand. Instead of my parents to do such a thing, my parents now decided to go to meet one pastor and start telling the pastor. And even this pastor said, it's not even in my village. The pastor now happens to be in Kafanchan. He now going to go and meet the pastor and say, Pastor, I am here to come and discuss how my children are going to develop their future. Now, none of us back in our village are in this present meeting with our father or mother in Kafanchan with one pastor or with one Babalawo or with one Malam. How does this thing sound? So, the pastor now, where Papa could go meet, now he will come decide waiting, Papa will come do for us for house. When Papa come back to house, don't you think that there will be conflict of interest in the house? Because we did not work with a common purpose. There was no unity of purpose. If there had been a unity of purpose, all of us would have gone in like manner, with the same mindset, to go and discuss the same thing, and we wouldn't even have needed an outsider to come and be the one to decide for us or to detect for us. We would have sat down ourselves in our family, decide, because if this house better, now all of us go enjoy it. If we know better, now all of us go still feel the pain. But because the slavery must continue, because the killings must continue, because the rapings must continue, because of oil and gas that is deposited in Biafra land, that is why they cannot sit down with the same people in the Biafra land to discuss of their well-being. They will only go and sit down to discuss with the oppressors that will come and extract that their oil and gas forcefully and against their will, and then take it to wherever they want. And the people in the Biafra land that even owns the oil, they will never see any dividends of the oil coming back to them. Not in development of the community, not in good roads, not in electricity or power supply, not in schools, being equipped in the laboratory for the students to learn and to have a good learning environment and everything in standard, not even to create job opportunities to the students that are coming out from schools. Imagine if the oil that is extracted from your land is being reproduced or refined in your own same land. Would that not have created job opportunities for you? Imagine if the leftover of the oil is still left in that your land. Would that not have produced electricity for you? Imagine if the leftover of those refined oil is being used to produce something like plastic bags. Is that company not going to be creating job opportunities for you? Instead, they are going to Chatham House to go and discuss how they will siphon everything and take down to UK, how they will continue to make sure the slavery remains, and anybody that stands up to say no, they will cut the person to pieces. They are all going to Chatham House to go and decide the fate of the Biafran and the Oduduwa people and the Ambazonians. Why? Because they have seen their synergy, they have seen the agility, they have seen the commitment, and they have seen the steadfastness that they have been through, even as they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They had seen that Simon Ekpa emerged as the man that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was praying for God to give him from time to this day. They have seen that we have not been backing down, but rather forging ahead and increasing the tempo. That is why they are going to Chatham House. Instead of coming to your community, instead of calling a Zoom meeting that can contain 1 million people that are all from the Nigerian extract, then we sit down and then we converse, we rub minds, and then we ask ourselves questions. They cannot come and assemble you and sit down and talk to you. They will go to the criminals that is giving them the template of making sure the enslavement continues and you will not be free. We don't deliver our message. We want to make una good thing. Why are they going to Chatham House instead of calling you that is going to come and cast vote for them? No, be Chatham House or UK people will come cast vote for them. Now you go come cast vote for them. But na Chatham House, now UK people, they won't go tell them how they will come rule you. Academic Highness, you have the mic, please.
I say my highest day of happiness was when ESN was launched. I jumped down from my bed. That is so hilarious. But at the same time, we know that those who derailed has destroyed lots of things. But at the same time, we are intact, because a state without armed force is not a serious state. So by that particular time that they saw that, before they used to call IPOB toothless bulldog. Okay, by the time they saw the security outfit, they started understanding that these people are very, very serious. Now, that is, by the way, concerning this thing we're saying, because we must have spiritual deliverance. If we want Africa to come back to regain its glory, we must have spiritual deliverance. What I mean by spiritual deliverance is that we must go back to ourselves and start thinking. Let me come now. When I say they use Christianity to brainwash us, most of our people thought that I have become, because my father was one of those who were the first catechists in the Eastern region. I know the way the minds of our people has been carried away through Catholicism, all this blah, 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 blah. We are not Antichrist. Christ is from Africa. But they changed, the name is not even Jesus Christ. You need to seek to know the main name. However, we are not Antichrist. But what we are telling you is that the mechanism that created Nigeria, our people don't understand the meaning of country and nation. They are two different things altogether. Most educated people, when they are speaking, they will say Nigeria, our nation. Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is a country. Okay? Country is just like geographical expression and also authority. Country and authority are synonymous. But nation is another thing. Nation is what we are trying to create now. What we are trying to create, Biafra nation, is the nation of people who have similar culture. Okay? The same way of thinking, the same value. Just like MNK used to say, if your mother used to wear 2 wrapper, know that it's a Biafran. If you look right around, you see it. So, our colonizers used virus to condition the mindset of our people. That's why I talk about spiritual deliverance, but not the spiritual deliverance of pastors. In the sense that at times you sit down and say, what's happening? We have 5 continents, but 4 continents are functioning. And amongst those 4 continents, they maintain their religion. Europe is the pagan system and Christianity. They maintained it. If you go to Asia, you can see that they maintained what you call Confucianism or Confucius. They have Mandarin, which the Chinese follow. You still have the one of the Indians. They maintained it. They did not throw it away. We Africans, where is our own? The Oceanians, they maintain theirs. But we will through our own. Today, how many people are naming their children with traditional name? No. Many people, they even they try to cancel their names. Like you hear Good Luck Jonathan. That is not a name. For example, I'm just saying for example. But that mentality that made our people to be seeing, white people as their organ. Let me put it in that way because you said she talk in a very, very low key. Eh? Inside the psyche of average politician today, when they see white people that I mean are those white politicians like the British High Commissioner. The British High Commissioner is simply an ambassador of Britain to Nigeria. When they see, they say, yes, ma, yes, one of them, they will be genuflecting. They will be there, so they will be. That is the sign of inferiority. This is the reason why these people go to Chatham House, because they don't understand what is called sovereignty. That your country should not be subordinate to another man's country. That your country, the decision of your country should be subordinate to the people. They are not being meant to understand what is meant by citizens. By citizen, that word, citizen. That is the reason why them not having understood the meaning of citizen, person like P2B don't care about the massacre of Igbo people. He doesn't even care about the massacre of Nigerians. He's thinking on his own interest, protecting his offshore investment, and also to be called the president of Nigeria. Why, if not, if he understood the meaning of citizen? No, Sheikh Gumi understood it. That's why he's there telling you that nobody should touch bandit. That bandit is their warrior. But the other one that you believe that speaks GDP, both of them are speaking, but one is speaking out of sense. Why the other one is speaking sense? The one that is speaking sense is the one that is protecting their people. Everybody is supposed to protect their own. And that is the fountain of politics. You protect your people. That is the very meaning of politics, not the game. These people go to Chatham House because they accept to be slaves. They don't, spiritually, they don't know that black man and white man are equal. That there is nothing like white man said. If you look at color of white, a human being is not white. Where is a white here? Where is white here? This is white. Human being does not have this color. But the colonial masters created the word of appeasement. They call it appeasement in their own political language. To please their people. They created so many mechanisms in such a way that the citizens will like whatever they're doing. But our own people do not understand it. Under that white manship, they created the fact that, in fact, they don't want, in Italy or in anywhere you are in the Western world, you can never see mad people eating in the gutter because those mad people are citizens. This is the fountain of the problem. Those mad people are citizens, so they don't want anything that will create what you call eyesore. So they will go and recover those mad people. In fact, in Italy, the people that ride with siren are the people you call Imbe in Nigeria. They go with siren, with respect. If you park your vehicle where Imbe vehicle used to park, they always write a sign of that is people that are disabled. You don't even call them disabled in Italy. They call them diversamente abilis. That is the way. They go with siren. But local government chairmen don't go with siren. Governors don't go with siren. If a governor is coming, not even security. Very humble. Why is it that our brothers and sisters are not learning this particular thing? Starting from Reverend Fathers. How many of our people today that are in Europe are able to be, when they give birth to their children, to give their children traditional name? I am first to do it. Let me tell you the opposition I got from my family. They say, did white people, attention, because this is spiritual deliverance. Because if we are not delivered spiritually, we find it difficult. Because we're believing that pastor must say Biafra is good before we go. You know how many population these people control? No. I gave my children traditional name. One is called Z. The other one is called Zinya, etc., etc., etc. Then my family, because we came from Catholic family, he said, did white men, was it possible for white man to pronounce a Z? What is different in pronouncing a Z? While you have what you call Silvio Berlusconi, it's 11 letters. Then you see have Arnold Schwarzenegger, very, very complicated than my own. But when you give your son's name, Akparawa, they say, how can a white man agree to pronounce Akparawa? It did not even end there. I used the name to do baptism in the Holy Catholic Church, according to them. Good. They were waiting for the time the Reverend Father will reject. But Reverend Father welcomed it. So, inferiority complex is what that leads them to Chatham House, and they have been lured into feeling that they are bigger boys. If you see people who went to school, they don't want to talk to people who they believe they didn't went to school. They will be hiding. They orchestrated that thing like that. All of them very sad. Where is a professor? How many times does the Professor Shoyinka talks in Nigeria? If he's talking, we'll be talking zigzags. All in coded language, the one talks. The rest are silencious. That is the same reason why they allow the politics in Nigeria to be hijacked by hoodlums. Who is even talking about Nigeria again? But in this Biafran struggle, it is not like that. Everybody is equal. We are creating a nation of equal human beings. When Biafra comes, nobody will be going to be selling banana on the head, doing one acre. We will create industry. Apart from academics, when it comes for agriculture, we will show example. When it comes for industry, we must, because we had experience, what you call omnivorous experience here. That is what we have. In the way white people does it. Because white people, educated people, they don't antagonize each other. They are soldiers. When they say in Nigeria, you do youth service. Youth service, do you know how to shoot gun? They don't teach them how to shoot gun. But here, if we're doing youth service, it is called military service. We shoot gun, AK-49, AK-47, double barrel puncture in Italy. Because if there is crisis, the citizens must rise up. That is what you call forma regimenis mutata nes mutatur ipso civitatis. Quote? That is how it is. So let's disregard all these people that they use to say elite. Who's elite? They are slaves of the colonial master. You are elite. Africa is burning. Africa is not participating in anything. I like using Africa because it's a bigger family. Biafra has all the talent. The man that manufactured the most fastest computer is a Biafran in the United States of America. What if by the time we have our republic and all those talents happen to come down, we'll be doing it. It will be as
nobody is talking about him. Nobody is talking about that man. They gave the credit to a white man. To a swine.
Thank you. Because do you know why? He did not have the license on research. I'm a researcher. And I don't say I'm finding it difficult. No. Biafrans don't find this difficult. Because I want to be on my own, and we shall do everything humanly possible to get it. So we are creating a nation of human beings, not a nation where politicians have legitimized the killing of political opponents. Look at them. They are shameless. How can you kill your political opponent? Is life not sweetening him as it is sweetening you? Let us put it in that way. Who does that in the world? That makes use of, the thugs. They send thugs to go and steal ballot boxes. And it is very normal before the eyes of reverend fathers, pastors, native doctors, and educated people. They say that is it. Somebody, the worst that even happened, in terms of proclamation or declaration of winner, was the one that somebody that got fourth position was later through Supreme Court declared governor, and they are happy. My Biafran mission headed by presently is to liberate our people, bring the kingdom of God and the kingdom of heaven down to the earth. This language is last thing going to speak now that allow others to continue. When this English language that we're speaking, our people need to understand it in English terms, make physics of comprehension and mentality. Most of people don't understand.
Okay, we have a caller.
We have a caller.
The English, they should have quickly so that it has heaven means peace. Hell means not only that it is what you are seeing, go around, it means condition, it means serenity as you have in Europe. So we are going to create the serenity. We are not against any religion. We are not against anybody. We are going to create a nation of equal people and respect. Thank you, Ada Biafra, and all the crew members.
Okay, speaker, go on now. You are live on the show.
Oh, hello, pilot.
What they don't know is bigger than them. Go ahead.
Well, I agree to you. You see, my sister, I just click interest on what our saying now about names. About names. Let me tell you what happened to me here in Ireland here. When I have my daughter, my first daughter, and in the hospital, I put her name, Uche Chukwu. You know, Uche Chukwu. Everything is in the birth certificate. Then the day I will take my daughter to my doctor to register her, I went there. After she finished everything, and she had the birth certificate in front of her. After she finished everything, getting to the name, she was asking me, what is her name? I said, look at her name, there, Uche Chukwu. He said, no. I said, she does not have Irish name. I am the father. She doesn't have Irish name. He said, no, I cannot pronounce the name. I said to her, I did not give you my daughter. I did not give my daughter name for you to pronounce. Write it where I write it there. My daughter, do you know the police come? The police, I nearly slapped my daughter, my doctor that day. The people in the receptionist call police. And she started begging me. Now, another one, when my children grow in the school, this one happened to my last daughter. In the school, my last daughter, her name is Onyeka Chukwu. One day, you know, as a father, I don't go to school all the time because when I come back, I will be tired. So the day I'm off, I decided to go through my children's books. And as I'm going to my children's book, I was seeing Gloria. I called my daughter, where this name Gloria come from? And she's telling me is her baptism name. I said, my daughter, I never give you baptism name in any church. Your name is Uche Onyeka Chukwu. I take her to the school immediately. That day I take off from my workplace. I took off. I take her to the school. I get there, the principal, where did this name come from? This Gloria you put in my daughter's name. How come about? And this is what the people say. Next time you come and do this thing, I swear I will take you to court. Don't slave my daughter. For that day, they cancelled that Gloria. Up to today. Okay? My second daughter is doing sports. He's representing Irish in sports. They were calling him a charity. I go there and warn them in the sports. I changed that name immediately because I see it in television where they write charity. I went there to just remove this thing. Her name is Okochukwu. Her name is Okochukwu, not charity. Remove that thing. So, my brother, you see, even if your children is not speaking Igbo language, but you see that name we train. That name we trace their children. That is why American blacks are slaves today, because they don't know their name. I think that they give them African name, they will trace themselves where they come from. You see, so this thing is very, very important that we change this name. You see, this name that we are giving our children here, we must change it. I'm telling you, because without that, you have slaved your children. You have slaved your children. Please, Biafra, this is what I wanted to contribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Because thank you. This one, your children will be my student in Igbo class. Because they must speak it. They must speak our language. Nwatakịrị na-anaghị eti aka anyị na-ata ma ọ bụ na-ata nke anyị na-eti. Ọkwa nne na nna ya ka mma adalụ ngwa ajala pịawa ya azụ. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You have another caller?
No, not now. I think
All
we
right.
need.
I think we should be rounding up because we are already going into the peak of this broadcast and it is becoming over interesting. If we keep the line on now, Biafra will not allow us to go back again. So, His Academic Highness, please, in some minutes, give your closing remarks so that we round up. And please let your closing remarks encompass of obedient madness of I am not a Biafran, I'm a Nigerian, and also the Nigerian leaders or rulers that are going to Chatham House to go and tell Chatham, UK, how they want to come and rule Nigerians instead of talking to Nigerians. The disadvantages and the doom that awaits Nigerians that are looking up to these people. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you, Biafran people. There is a news that is going around the media today of the surprise election of the youngest mayor of the city in the United States of America, which you can see here. This is the thing I'm trying to talk about. In the United States of America, a teenager, somebody that just completed his 18 years old, is elected as a local government chairman. That is what is called progress. Whereas in our own country, they are telling us, the same people that elected 18-year-old person. I remember when I started building upstairs, was when I was having 17 years old. I became a contractor before I came here. When I was plus or minus 16 years old, I was in secondary school. You know, in America, the same America that is electing 18 years old person is telling us to elect a nonagenarian and plus. And even at times they help Nigerians to build human being by mask. You know, you see, so this foolish Nincompopedia elite that you have that said from the vocal cavities of one of the Ohanes Ndibo, I think that one is kicking bucket already, has kicked bucket. He said that Igbo people should speak in different voices. This is somebody that called himself a professor. Whereas the political ethics says that one people, one voice, one language, one culture, and one progress. So I don't want our people to be dismayed or to be led astray by all these people parading themselves as obedient and etc., etc. Obedient is just trying to secure his property that he had in America. I didn't mean that our people are serious about politics. They should have understood that Peter Obi was a running mate to Atiku Abubakar. And why is it that Atiku Abubakar came back? He didn't pick him again to become his running mate. PDP didn't want to give him slot. All of a sudden, not even APC. We are here in the diaspora, but we follow what is happening in Nigeria, more than those that are in Nigeria, for good. He went and concluded agreement, secret agreement, in the Chatham House. We idiots do gathering of vultures. And when they told him, look, if you didn't come out now, we will seize your properties, for example, both the buildings and the money. They thought that they have sense. We studied the way they used our people. They used the money of our petroleum during the OPEC period of 1970 till today to build the United Kingdom. Everywhere lights, everywhere industry. P2B has industries, not industry, industries, both supermarkets. In Chatham House, very close to Chatham House, is it called the Next Limited? It has it. Why is it that he didn't came to build it in Abakaliki? Or to build it in Anambra? What we are, the message we are passing, you know, politicians has rendered our people very hungry. To the sense that people, they cannot decide on their own. Simon Ekpa said that they have no power of deciding their own. Listen to us and be free. All this death occurring is because you are not in charge of government. Christians are not in charge of government. The Biafran government is going to make Christians to be in charge. The secret of the progress of Europe is because Christians are in charge. And I'm not saying you should go and be in charge of Nigeria. Nigeria is dead already. It was born chaotically in 1914 and it died in 2014. It is in my book. This is the kind of book we study. We don't study half book. So if we're telling you things, it is for your own good. Pray for Biafra autopilot, for the realization of the sovereign state of Biafra. There is nothing the devil can do. According to political ethics, pouvoir appartenant au peuple. Power belongs to the people. Quod placuit regem next abet vigorem. Pacta samt servanda. I thank all of you for listening, and that Biafra is going to conclude because in Biafra autopilot, our women are our mothers, okay? That is how it is. We are going to create a perfect society. Thank you. Help me to conclude in your own way. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Obi, it's your turn, please.
Okay. Biafrans all over the world, thank you for joining us today. We are going home, just as Prof said. Listen and support autopilot, and Biafra will come this year. He said, we have all it takes. We have people, men behind this camera, you are seeing. People that will make things happen. We are not telling you for you to doubt us. Just listen to instruction when they say sit at home. That is your contribution. Your sharing, your like, your comment, your contribution. Remember, tomorrow is our. Tell that your uncle, that your brother, that your sisters living outside the shores of that zoo. Website www.ipobnusa.org/donate. You go down to general. Buy granite for our boys, or you buy bullet for the Fulanis. It's either this way or that way. You see, Gumi, that is telling you that the Fulani terrorists are their warriors in the bushes. This one you are looking at in the dashboard now is our own warriors in facing their own terrorists. These are not terrorists. These are our boys. They are not terrorists. They are there to defend your life. Number one, your life matters to us. Number two, your land. They are land grabbers. These Fulani terrorists want to kill you and take over your land. Who are there to help us? These are our boys. You must buy granite for our boys. Share these flyers anywhere, everywhere. You can never know who will see it and share it. You can never know who will be notified to do something, who will to do something. Remember, it's turn by turn. You don't know as it is happening. Is in Zombe, in Olo, in Hamufu, in Ohapia, everywhere in Biafra land. Don't pray that Nigeria happen to you and your neighbors and your families. So that is why you must share these flyers. Copy it and share it anywhere. We need to keep up to what our leader, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, put on ground. They are the only recommended security now guiding your lives. Biafra lives to other Biafra. Simon Ekpa and all the people, the real freedom fighters. So you must support us. You must hear anything from us and do it immediately. Just keep your ear on ground, your eyes open. Remember, when you hear something, you must say something. When you see something, you must say something. Be your brother's keeper. Thank you. Give a like to this video anywhere you see it. Thank you.
Oh, Prof, please use some minutes to speak extensively on the Eastern Security Network fundraising. Prof, please use some minutes.
Yeah, just like I said from the beginning, that at that very moment that ESN was launched, that I jumped down from my bed because the politicians don't think us, they don't understand what is called citizen. And two, let me put this particular thing on notice before I talk about the fundraising. The Fulanis have already studied us. You know, they invaded us around 1804, and they finally created the Caliphate of the North in 1808. Now, according to their modus operandi, they were the original or the former Assyrians. I studied their history very well, the Arabic history of the Assyrians and the Mujahids. That is another name, you call them the Mujahids. Just like when they say Al-Haji, some people thought that Al-Haji is a big man. Al-Haji doesn't mean big, it means a stranger, a recognized stranger. Now, what is their modus operandi? Their modus operandi is that they have studied our people and knew that we have this idea of, you know, double inhabitation or triple inhabitation, in the sense that our society is organized in, you know, people live, there are people we call the rural people. Then there are people that live in the towns. Then you still have people that, you know, our people live in very, very detached, you know, culture. Now, they haven't studied our weak point. When they want to conquer, they start from the periphery, because presently those who live in the town believe that they are bigger boys, while those that are living in the village are poor people. Watch the mentality that I've been saying. You see that is the same mentality that makes politicians to be disregarding poor people and the killings going on in the periphery. But the Fulanis, the jihadists, use that style to enter us. They start from the periphery. At the end, they will finish even those that are in the towns. This study is here enveloped in the Europe. That is the reason why Europeans dealt with them decisively. That is the etymology of Waterloo. When you say you will meet your Waterloo, it was you know, the war that was during the Pascensis Europensis, around 700 after the death of Christ. So tomorrow is ESN fundraising. For what? The security of our lives and properties. Politicians are not thinking. Politicians, by the time Nnamdi Kanu launched ESN, the next thing they did is that they quickly ran and launched a Bubago. What is a Bubago doing today? I'm asking you a question. What is a Bubago doing? Is it chasing terrorists? No, a Bubago is killing people, Igbo people and Biafran people. They use a Bubago as political mercenary. They use likewise a Bubago as the killers of IPOB people and of ESN. So this particular fundraising we're doing has been done by the Westerners. 1775. America organized fundraising. There were two groups, the intellectual group and the military group. Precisely, Oliver Cromwell and George Washington. They themselves, they fought together, but Oliver Cromwell only got it, you know, he got astray by the thing that always worry professors and educated people. That at times they are not dynamic, but both of them collaborated at the same time. Israel, That is, they fought and got independence. America, that everybody is running kitty kitty kata kata today, did fundraising around 1670, 75 till when they finally conquered the British. They said no taxation without participation, social disobedience, civil disobedience. Israel did it. Today, Israel is world power in terms of military might and agriculture and innovation. So all road leads to www.ipobinUSA.org, fundraising, /donate. That's the way you put it for the fundraising, because we must do as others did so that we will maintain our existentiality. Those people that are following the Biafran struggle now are more than professors. So any amount you donate, whether big or small, is a kind of futuristic investment to safeguard and to salvage our succeeding generation. You that said you're studying in USA, what is the preamble of the Constitution of USA and the preamble of the Constitution of the NATO, the preamble of what do you call it, of the United Nations, of the European Union, is to safeguard the succeeding generation. And we have learned the same thing that they learned, and we're doing it. So no apology, no form of apology. Support the Eastern Security Network fundraising. It's a daily obligation so that we go to heaven. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. He said. He said, hallelujah.
Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world, in line with what Prof just said, if you look at the down part of this flyer, you see something written there. To defend Biafra land is our task. Let's make it our collective responsibilities. So, when you have this mindset and this understanding that defending and keeping Biafra land safe is a task that must be carried out, and making it your own responsibility, not something that you have to think of, but making it a mandate in your life, you will understand the importance of your brothers and sisters that we left back home, and why we must protect them, and why we must keep Biafra land safe and sound until we restore Biafra. If we stop what we are doing, they will kill us all. And if we stop what we are doing, there will be no place to call home. If we stop what we are doing, there will be no place for our families to go back to. The children that we born or give birth to in foreign lands will not have a home to go back to, and they will all remain slaves in another man's land. So, to this very end, and for the restoration of Biafra, be part and parcel of the fundraising, and at your leisure time, visit the website www.ipobinUSA.org/donate and make your donations with any of the buttons available. It goes to ESN. Every donations now and every money now should be focused to ESN, because we have a greater task ahead. Thank you all for being part and parcel of this broadcast with us. And thank you for sharing. Thank you for hitting the like button. Keep a date with us again later in the day, because the media team will be back on a joint broadcast. And to this very end, we say thank you all. Keep up the faith, because the best is yet to come. From us from here, it is good afternoon.
FULANI have taken over our place. They have half settlements. Like of course, this government and other places that have some settlements. FULANI have taken over that place. Killing children, men, destroy all farms, everything that was cultivated in this land. They have destroyed all of them. Put cassava and rice, yam. Not only that, they will come to the people where people settle and also destroy their houses, collect everything they have, even the money. They will go there, stay the money, take suits, everything in the house. They also go to the bush, even put fires on their rice they cultivated. They will put fire on that land. They have done a lot of things. But this recent one, they came and occupied in one place called Izuguamulo and Ogbete in Buja Autonomous Community. Start torturing people there, start destroying their houses and everything. When the security people went to ask them what is happening, why are they doing this? They attack them. We don't even know that there are as many as camping that place. We don't know. They attack the security. They have killed many people are in the bush. We are looking for many people missing. We have found about 2-3 cops lying down dead in the bush. No fear can catch anyone. Nobody can even go and vacate the cops. Some are in the hospital. Those that were shot, that have not died immediately in the hospital. You can see men and women every quarter in our hometown now. You can see refugees. You can see in my house. People that run away and finding, crying, finding what they will eat. No food, no money, nothing. Matter have been reported to government several times. Even yesterday night, we have called the soldiers, we have called the police, we have called even the chairman of the local government, reporting this matter to him. They are promising us that soldier is coming. Soldier. Even this morning, I have called them. They say soldier is coming, and police are coming.
But we have not seen any.
I was still waiting for them. The governor knows because the commissioner also informed the chairman of the local government also informed the ADC of the governor. From the governor. The governor knows about the kidnapper. Knows everything.
So, in the last 1 year, how many people have been killed in your community?
It's uncountable. In the last few months, I can tell you about 30-something. In short, from New Year to today, we are counting about more than 10 or 20. I'm telling you that as I'm talking to you now, many people are missing inside the bush, uncountable. You can't even remember how many people are there. Because fear has catch everyone. Nobody can even go to the bush to search and know how many is there. It's a massacre, and I don't even know how to put it because they even kill little children. Genocide. It is a daily event in this community. Daily event. You can see the worst one is that even we are talking about farm settlement where they are fighting the bush. But the one that happened in New Year Day is the wife of our brother in Gene Edoka. The junior brother to environment. Was kidnapped at the daughter.
I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land.
And killing of harmless and defenseless IPOB members and Mossab and other Biafra agitators, this can no longer be tolerated by us. We, the unrecognized voices of the IPOB autopilot, as they call us, all over the world, demand with immediate effect the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra.
I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land.
We hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place. The adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land.
I cannot guarantee you that any elections will hold anymore in our land. I don't know what. I don't know if we are suffering from politicians. I don't know where this disease is coming from. We must cure it. I want our enemies to understand how fanatical we are about this quest to liberate Biafra from the shackles of the iniquitous zoological republic. You need to understand this very clearly. We are not going to stop. We are not going back. I don't care what you say. It doesn't matter what your report says. I don't care the countries putting it together. It is irrelevant to me. What matters is the liberation of Biafra. Therefore, If Katrina Lang has any brain in her skull, if all those idiots encouraging the zoo to continue, if they have any brain in their skull, they will say, let us allow Biafra to go with their trouble, because I can assure you, as night follows day, that Biafra must come or we all die in the process. Do you know why? Because what we are looking for is what belongs to us. I am asking for something that I had before the white man came. White man is not God. He's not God. God is in heaven. I assure you, God Almighty is in heaven, and His will must be done upon our lives. They are not God. Nobody can create a country for me. I decide where I want to belong to. The people must decide if Nigeria is the country or not. Not a white man and a white woman. All these idiots suffering from inferiority complex, shame on all of you. You are foolish, useless black people. Because of your stupidity, that is why Africa is being treated the way it is today, like a trash can, more or less. As Trump said, a shithole. A white man has no business creating country for me, because I am the kind, as a black man, I cannot go to Europe to create a country for them. Why then should I allow a white man and a drunken white woman to come to my land to create country for me?